कुमार स्वामी नायक गोंगो लिबू लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Good evening, Fiji. In this bulletin, Registrar sets record straight on NFP expenses. Ardern claims landslide victory in New Zealand election. And illegal activities a concern for Maduata province.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
Registrar of Political Parties Mohammed Saneem has today revealed that the donations made by National Federation Party leader Professor Biman Prasad were used by the party for general purposes. Saneem clarified that Prasad was not referred to Fiji Independent Commission Against Corruption for helping the people as claimed on the NFP's official social media platforms. He says the NFP has left him with no choice but to reveal the poor state of finance management by Professor Prasad and his party. Kritika Kumar reports.
Mohammed Saneem, while setting the record straight, released the list of expenses the NFP and its leader, Professor Prasad, had made from the party's relief and welfare account.
The party spent $22,736.95 from this account in 2017 through 50 transactions. The first disbursement from the Winston Relief account were on 6 January 2017. This first disbursement was described as pay in the sum of $973.08, this pay being for pay for NFP staff.
Saneem adds out of the 50 transactions, only 6 reflect that they were for cyclone relief efforts in 2017.
Based on the above analysis from the accounts presented by the NFP, only $2,154.80 out of $22,736.95 was listed for activities related to relief or rebuilding after Winston in 2017. The party used $20,582.15 from the donations it received in the Relief and Welfare Fund for general party activities.
Saneem says it is worrying that money for relief were utilized in purchasing office supplies and paying staff salaries. There is evidence that NFP President Pio Tikonduandua had also received several payments from the account.
In 2017, the total money paid to him totaled to $3,600. We have no record of what the money was spent on. There is one notation actually, which says that there was a payment made to Honorable Tikonduandua for medical expense, $1,000.
Saneem says the NFP continued to use the relief account, but instead made general deposits and campaign funding from the same. FBC News contacted NFP today and were told that the leader is expected to comment on the matter tomorrow. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has made a landslide victory in the country's general election. The Labour leader has almost 50% of the vote, the most any party has achieved under the mixed-member proportional. Prime Minister Bainimarama says Fiji looks forward to enhancing its bilateral engagements with New Zealand and in advancing regional and global issues of common interest to both countries. He made the comments in his congratulatory message to New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern for the historic victory in general elections. Bainimarama says Fiji and New Zealand share strong bonds of friendship. He reaffirmed Fiji's commitment to work closely with New Zealand to deepen bilateral relations and strengthen the solidarity of the Blue Pacific continent. The head of the Fijian government said that through the strong leadership of Ardern, the Pacific region will together become stronger and more resilient when overcoming the unprecedented challenges currently faced globally. Health Minister Dr. Ifiremi Wanganambete says they are well within their means to reduce the risk of a community outbreak of leptospirosis and dengue fever as we approach the cyclone season. Dr. Wanganambete says they continue to learn from cases recorded in recent months, prompting the health workers to beef their community cleanup and awareness campaigns. Josiah Nandranga has more.
As of July, over 3,000 dengue fever and 1,000 cases of leptospirosis have been recorded.
Yeah, it never lets down. So I've been talking to the ministry about the fact that, it's been hard on in terms of the work that has had to be done. They've been full on leading up to the measles outbreak at the end of last year. Then we had the cyclones, and then we had COVID-19 all throughout. And then we had tropical cyclone Harold. Our teams, we had FEMAT that went around.
5 people have died from leptospirosis. Dr. Wanganambete adds they are promoting personal hygiene and cleanliness in communities and schools.
So it's important that whilst we are pushing out through government support, through the appropriation that we have into the community, that we also get the communities, whether it's a church, whether it's a, whether it's a school, whether it's an organization, whether it's an employer, interested in the pillars of health so that they can be able to work it together. Some are actually doing it.
I always ensure that my family members are safe from these diseases.
We should learn from past cases that were recorded and always ensure that our compounds are clean at all times. The government, through the health ministry, is urging Fijians to be responsible, empowered to look after their health, and know that work is underway to keep everyone safe and healthy. Josaya Nandranga, FBC News.
Constant poaching in marine protected areas, illegal logging and extraction activity topped discussions at the various district meetings in the province of Maduata. Tui Maduata Ratuwiliame Katonivere says these concerns are raised at every district and provincial meeting, and a swift response from relevant authorities is needed to solve them. Josaya Nandranga reports.
The Tui Maduata says most of these villages depend on the sea and land for their livelihood and are lobbying for illegal activities to stop.
They've been told that there are boats coming as far as Vitilevu to come and poach in their protected areas. This is something that has been raised, and I hope that the Ministry's Department of Fisheries, as well as the concerns from the illegal extractions and illegal logging.
Ratuwiliame adds discussions are underway with the Fisheries Ministry to conduct training sessions so that villages can monitor their fishing grounds. He says the Turanganikoro and Matanitikina in the Maduata province have stepped up.
Thankful to the way things have changed over the years, especially the attendance in the Tikina Council meetings. And the way the Tikina Council meeting has been conducted, I think it has progressed tremendously. I've been in Tikina Council meetings, but this year, my being here, I think there has been a lot of changes, a lot of improvements, I would say.
We have progressed over the years. We are beginning to take advantage of the government's various assistance for community development. The Tui Maduata attended 2 Tikina meetings this week, and the issues raised or the outcome of these district meetings will be presented at the Provincial Council meeting. Josaya Nandranga, FBC News.
Up ahead, Dance Fest hailed a success, and hundreds take advantage of Rock Market.
Baik tu dia jadi beratahu रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
A farmer in his 40s has been questioned and released following the seizure of several gallons allegedly containing rice whiskey. The incident happened in Gelemumu, Lambasa on Friday. Officers from Lambasa Police Station were acting on information received of the alleged illegal manufacturing of rice whiskey. During the raid, officers seized several 20-litre plastic gallons, plastic bottles and apparatus believed to be used in manufacturing whiskey. The seized liquid and items have been sent for analysis. The investigation continues. It was an electrifying atmosphere at the Dance Fest as 9 dance groups came together, showcasing different moves and steps. The dance industry is also facing challenges because of the pandemic, as they heavily relied on hotels and resorts to provide entertainment at events. Vinina Rakautonga reports the concert was aimed at reviving the dance culture and promoting creative arts and entertainment.
From cultural hip-hop to contemporary, these performers kept the audience well entertained.
The atmosphere was absolutely electrifying. We had people from different groups and companies that are here in Fiji, so it was really great to see everyone in one space. And it really gave us an opportunity to really share ideas and converse with one another.
It was a good one. I think all of us we didn't really have that much nerves, but I think it was a good one overall. I think we enjoyed ourselves.
Just like the tourism industry, the pandemic has not spared the dance industry.
What COVID really did was it really helped us to put a lot of things into perspective. When everything happened, a lot of us just really went and used that time in quarantine and lockdown to think of ways we can earn money.
For 6 months there was no events, but that did not stop us from creating, that did not stop us from meeting and creating performances, because we knew that it was going to get better.
A number of workshops were also conducted as part of the festival to educate young and aspiring dancers about the art and style of dancing. Penina Rakautonga, FBC News.
Thinking outside the box and being different from the rest is what will make your business flourish. This is what has helped Christopher Manueli establish his catering business that strictly sells gluten-free food. Manueli was among the more than 20 vendors at the Gold FM Rock Market event in Suva today. Venina Rakautonga reports.
A final year student finishing his diploma in culinary arts, Christopher Manueli wants to be different from other Fijian caterers.
The thought was to do something different than everyone else. So I have a cousin that's celiac. She's gluten intolerant, so she can't have anything that is gluten. And going out to dinner or like going out with a family, it's hard to find something that's not gluten-free.
Manueli is confident of expanding his little business into something big.
A group of celiac, what's called this? Like people that have celiac disease, right? We started thinking it wasn't going to be big, but there's a big crowd. So, I mean, it's a little target, but it's there.
As municipal festivals have been put on hold during the pandemic, its vendors have had to find other alternatives. Fairyland, a business that sells candy floss and popcorns, was at the Rock Market also to sustain themselves.
Well, it's going good at the moment. Actually, they operated in like 9 months. They have their carnivals or activities, or somebody has a festivals or birthday. They also do their bouncy castle, all those things.
Hundreds of Fijians took advantage of the Rock Market today with a wide range of food and accessories sold. Penina Rakautonga, FBC News.
Turning a dream into reality is possible through determination, hard work and sweat. This has been the driving force for Prabhashini Ram, who is the only Indo-Fijian chief officer at Suva Women's Correction Centre. Kritika Kumar with 35-year-old Ram's success story.
Prabhashini Ram dreamt of becoming a doctor, but this did not happen due to financial constraints.
I was a military officer for 5 years, serving there. After that, I wanted to change my job. It was my job, so I applied for Fiji Correction Service. I went through the interview process, likewise with the physical training, and I went through it. And this is my 7th year working with the Fiji Correction Service, and this is my career now.
She says female or male, an officer is an officer, and the best weapon they can have is knowledge. Ram believes it is important to have knowledge and understanding of our surroundings.
When I joined, there were women, but not as much as men. Yeah, they were supportive in helping me, while I was only Indo-Fijian girl joining Fiji Correction Service. That's back in year 2003. Yeah, they were supportive to me.
Ram, who is originally from Vanuatu, says there are countless daily challenges in life.
One of the challenges working as a female corrections officer is that time management, working inside and time at home. Finding time at home, we have to balance our time at work and find time with our family members at work, at home again. And a few other challenges are where inmates they get involved into fights. We are there to solve the problem, and we are there to rehabilitate them. And yeah, basically those are the few challenges that we as women correctional officers.
Being second in command at the Women's Correction Centre has helped Ram to self-discipline herself.
Really helped me become more disciplined from my previous job, from being civilian life to force life. I've really disciplined myself on timings, my behavior and my approach to everyone else.
Ram says for women, it's a challenge working in a male-dominated field, but the sky is the limit. She is encouraging females to have patience, broaden their knowledge and join the force. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
Ahead in sports, Etonia Rokotuisawa boots Naita Siri to victory. And Teofimo Lopez Jr. crowned new unified champion. This and more coming up.
Pula nadang go approach lang kerse, go erkraki. Do televisi ono barong na radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibit.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibit.
The Ganga Naita Siri side came out victorious against Skipper Cup champions Ramsamy Suva at Bidesi Park in Suva yesterday. Naita Siri fullback Etonia Rokotuisawa guided his side to victory after he nailed 5 penalties in Naita Siri's 27-10 win. Karleni Tavi has more.
Etonia Rokotuisawa recorded a personal tally of 70 points in a very physical match.
Today it mattered most for us because we needed the points and he was there knocking them over. So we're getting the points and keeping us ahead all the time because Suva could have come back at any time. So Rokotuisawa was doing what we required him to do, which is his thing.
Naita Siri has accredited its win to the strong forward pack that put up an impressive performance against Suva.
It's one of our strengths, our forwards and our sectors, in our scrums. I mean, watch all our games. It's there for you to see. We invest so much in that. We spend a lot of time in that training, so it's bearing fruit now.
Despite the loss, Suva is now more determined to defend its Skipper Cup title.
That's still the objective. We have Lotoka next week and Namosi on the last game, so we have to defend the skipper. That's what our intentions are, and it's been very clear from the beginning.
Naita Siri is set to face the level while Suva meet Lotoka in the next round of the Skipper Cup. Karleni Tavi, FBC Sports.
Nandranga does not want a repeat of the catch-up rugby it pulled off in yesterday's match against Nandi. After clawing its way back to take a 17-12 win over the Jet Setters, the Stallions know how tough the competition will be in the last 2 rounds of the Skipper Cup. Karleni Tavi has more.
It is back to the drawing board for Nandranga as they prepare to face Yasawa next week.
Drawing board for almost every game we play, we catch up rugby. But for the next 2 games, important games for us, because after that 2 games, semi-final and the final.
Nandi put up an impressive performance, but there was no consistency.
And I think my heads off to the Navy boys. Not the result we wanted, there was a lot of practicing it. Today we really disappointed with how the match was controlled. We'll raise it up to the correct form.
Nandranga will meet Yasawa while Nandi will challenge Namosi for the Fairbrother Sullivan Trophy next week. Karleni Tavi, FBC Sports.
Hundreds of Nandranga football fans gathered in Singatoka town yesterday to celebrate the side's Courtside EC Senior Division win. The Stallions won the Senior Division title last week. However, the ultimate goal has yet to be achieved, which is the playoff. Details with Felipe Naikaso.
Their 3-0 win over Mboa called for a celebration, but it's also a stepping stone for Nandranga, who are aiming to get back to the Premier Division.
Then now there is a big job in front of us, which is to go and play a playoff, which will be an away game and a home game. So then after that, I think that this is, like you are right, the beginning of the journey.
Fans marched through Singatoka town yesterday celebrating the team's performance, while the team was later hosted to a dinner.
Through and slams it with a powerful drive, like a winding banana from the 40-yarder.
The Stallions have also been given advice ahead of their crucial games.
Now I think there's a huge responsibility, if you like, for this current crop of players to actually prove that Nandranga can go into the Premier Division. Not putting too much pressure on you, but as I said on the night at Duvu College, the most important thing is to play with integrity. Most important thing is to play a best game.
You need to respect that the members of the committee during this hardship have been able to give you support, financially secure the association.
I still urge my fellow players to give in 100% to win the playoffs, and we'll prepare from next week Monday.
Nandranga will play Mbua in the playoffs this month. Felipe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
Fiji's top netballers created a hype at the FMF Gymnasium in Suva during the Digicel Punja's 2020 Netball Reset Championship yesterday. Teams from around the country are vying for the top 4 spots, as this will move them closer to booking a place in the national squad. Digicel Flames opened their campaign on a high note after defeating favourites Punja Stingrays 65-55. Karlaini Tavi with the details.
Digicel Flames captain and Fiji Pearl defender Alisi Nangiri is impressed with the progress made by her young side.
I always encourage them to give their best and just be themselves out there in the court.
Nangiri knows securing a spot in the national squad is easier said than done.
My goal is to represent Fiji again in the next coming World Cup. But for that, I have to prove myself and train hard.
Netball Fiji is calling on the support from all Fijians.
But I'm inviting everyone, who's interested to know how netball is progressing to come down on a Saturday. The schedules have gone out and just support these athletes.
The tournament, which began yesterday, will be played over 4 weekends. After the tournament, Netball Fiji will announce its 25-member Fiji Pearls training squad. Karlini Tavi, FBC Sports.
Fasanok yesterday hosted a Women in Sport workshop to raise awareness on gender-based violence and its impact on sports. More than 30 stakeholders from various sporting bodies took part in the workshop. Fasanok President Makarita Lenoir says sport is a catalyst for empowering women and girls, but can also help produce tangible results when it comes to gender equity. She also stressed on the importance of basic human rights that all women must practice.
Through education and workshops like these, the members are able to know what is out there, because sport exists in society. So it doesn't mean because it's sport, it's immune to the ills of society. And therefore there is a big responsibility on FASANOC and the member national federation to make sure that every sport participant that comes in is safe.
Teofimo Lopez Jr. has been crowned the new unified lightweight champion after defeating Vasilis Lomachenko in a unanimous decision at the MGM Grand Conference Center in Las Vegas today. Lopez becomes the first fighter in the 4-belt era to become an undisputed champion at lightweight. Lopez won the IBF title holder, unified the WBA, WBO and WBC titles from Lomachenko. The judges scored it 116 to 112, 119 to 109 and 117 to 113 for Lopez. Penrith Panthers are through to their first grand final in 17 years after outlasting South Sydney Rabbitohs 2016 at ANZ Stadium in Sydney. This victory has given the Panthers the right to play Melbourne Storm in the next Sunday's NRL grand final. Here are the highlights.
Damien Cook. Back for Reynolds, he's kicking for his left winger. He's marked the ball, Johnston. Mo to play the ball. Been in the grand final before. Here's what they're like when you get to them. And here's Johnston putting it down. A chance for To'o. 5 tackles gone. Panthers now breathing fire as Cleary puts the bomb up, and Tyrone May making a break down the short side. Here they come, the Rabbitohs. Walker gets it away. This is a good run here. Yeah. This is a good run here by Isaiah, and he gets it away for Dylan Edwards. Cook behind Nichols. Walker, Murray, run around. Oh, it's gone off the feet here, and Allen has touched down.
Fine weather prevailed over most parts of the country today. A quick look at the weather map. In the west, breezy and pleasant with partial sunshine. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, a blend of sun and clouds. Expect a passing shower or two late at night. And up north, partly sunny and beautiful conditions. At sea, moderate to fresh southerly winds. Winds gradually turning and becoming predominantly southeast tomorrow. Moderate to rough seas. Turning to the tides, the next low tide is at 1:53 tomorrow morning, followed by high tide at 8:06 a.m. Sunrise is at 5:34. Now, our outlook for tomorrow is for cloudy periods with brief showers over the southern and eastern parts and the interior of the larger islands. Mainly fine weather elsewhere, cool nights. And our further outlook, we're looking ahead to Tuesday, mainly fine weather in the forecast. And recapping the main stories for tonight, Registrar sets record straight on NFP expenses. Ardern claims landslide victory in New Zealand election and illegal activities a concern for Maduata province. For these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question, we're asking, do you think Fijians have shown resilience in the face of COVID-19? Visit our FBC website to answer. And be sure to send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News and our Twitter page at FBC_news. That's your news for tonight. Until tomorrow from the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable new week ahead. Bye for now.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.